Hello guys, in this video I will show you Instance Dungeon plugin for your Minecraft server. So let's open the Modriff page. The link to this plugin will be in description. Okay, so when we are on Instance Dungeon Modriff page, let's read something about this plugin. So first of all, hard dependency of this plugin is multiverse core, and it must be this version 4.3.12. You can try on newer versions, but it's not guaranteed that it will work. This plugin is also for paper 1.21 plus and of course forks of paper. Optional, but highly recommended is mythic mobs for better bosses and items other for better loot. Here you have some basic guide, but we will use a full documentation because there we have everything we need. So let's download it. Okay, and now we must put the plugin into plugins folder in your server. So let's do that. And we must now start the server. Okay, after the restart, we have an InstancedDungeons folder. So let's open it. And here we have 3 files. One folder and one config and messages file. So let's open the config file. And here we have some basic things. You can toggle the debug mode to true if you have some problems. The party system. After someone will create a party, he will have 300 seconds to start the dungeon. After that time, the party will be automatically disbanded, and if the dungeon have a costs, the cost will be returned. Here we have exit confirmation, so that's basic thing. No need to change anything here, to be fair. This is only one thing that you can adjust to your needs. Messages YML, you can change or translate to your language every message that is in this plugin. Okay, let's open Dungeons folder, and we don't have anything here because we don't have any dungeon. So let's create one now. So let's jump into the Minecraft server. So let's create our first dungeon. First of all, we need to create a new world. So let's use multiverse core to create it. MV. The name of this world will be Gang. Will be also name of our boss. Normal world. We don't need nether or end. And minus T flat. Oh, I accidentally put 2L. Okay, now when we have Wukong world, we can build or paste our dungeon there. MVTP to our Wukong world. Okay, and when I am on our main template world, I don't want any mobs to spawn on this world or any instances. So, game rule, do mob spawning false. Also, I don't want this mob which are here, so kill all hostile Wukong, and kill all animals. And now you can build here your dungeon, or you can paste from schematic. Okay, so when we have our dungeon, we must create a dungeon with command. So it will be dungeon create. You can press enter, and now you have usage of this command. So dungeon create will be Wukong, and you must choose a world. So in my case, it will be also Wukong. Type enter. Okay. So now, when we type dungeon edit Wukong, it will teleport us to world of this dungeon, and I don't know where I paste it. So give me a second. Okay, important note that it's recommended to create a world spawn here. So now, if are we in edit mode? Yes, we are. So now we must select our dungeon spawn. In my case, it will be, I don't know, for example, here. So dungeon set spawn. Next, I want to set boss spawn this dungeon. So we will go the end of this building. And here I want to create a boss spawn. So dungeon set boss. You can see particles here. Now I want to set dungeon exit. It will be placed when players, after completing the dungeon or after they write a command to leave, they will be teleported. So in my case, it will be in main world. Must teleport there. MVTP world. And I want dungeon exit to be, for example, here. Dungeon set exit. Okay, and now we can go back to our template world, MVTP Wukong, and when we set it up, those three things, for now, we can save this dungeon. Save. And use MVTP world. Now we must reload dungeon plugin, so it will be dungeon reload. And now in our plugin folder in dungeons, we can see that there is Wukong folder. So we can open it, and here we have two files. It will be more, but let's open a config file. Okay, and here we have a display name. It's our dungeon name, template world. So here we don't need to change anything. Max and minimum players in the party, you can set it whatever you want here. It's up to you. Time limit in seconds. So after this time, the player will be automatically kicked from the dungeon. Max instances, it's how many instances of Wukong can be played at once. Dev behavior, and here we must open documentation. So visit wiki, and I will search here for respawn. Here. respawn mode. So if you write here infinite respawn, players after death will respawn on the start of the dungeon. If you set one live spectator, so after a player die, he will be spectating his teammates, his dungeon, and you can write one live kick. So after the die, they will be kicked from the dungeon. Allow block break. For me, it will be false. I don't want two players break blocks in dungeon. Same as block place. Fail if all players dead. In my case, it will be false because I let players to infinite respawn. But if you set here one live spectator or one live kick, you must set it to true. Require all players to pay. So if this is false, only a leader of party will be paying for starting a dungeon. This is true, everyone must pay. So announce start, and this three option are a global announcement. So if you set it to true, if someone will start a dungeon, a global message will be sent that this player party started the dungeon Wukong. If complete, it will be this player party completed dungeon Wukong, and if fail, this player party failed dungeon Wukong. So I will set this to true. Here we have a boss must die to complete. In my case, it will be true. And in most of the cases, it will be true. Countdown after death. It's after boss die, how many seconds will players have to leave dungeon. After that time, the dungeon will close automatically. And here we have a costs. What costs we are adding in the game. So let's save it and let's go back to our server. Here we must type dungeon edit Wukong, and I want from players to pay 1 diamond and items are there. Item, it will be this map, anti-Q map. So dungeon. Oh, if you write only dungeon, you will have a call help with every command. But okay. Now let's type dungeon add costs. And here we must put items we want to play pays, enter the dungeon. So I put it 1 diamond and 1 map. Now I must write now I must type dungeon save. And if we go to our config file of Wukong dungeon, you will see that the costs is added automatically. And after you add costs, this thing will show up. You don't want two players to pay and but still have this 4 things. Just add some 1 diamond and then delete it. So now allow fluid place false. I don't want let players place some water. Fluid take is to take water from or lava from the map. Interaction. If you have on map some, I don't know, buttons or doors, and you want to let players use those things, you must set this to true. And exit reminder interval is automatic message When players are in dungeon, there will be automatic message sent to them that they can type dungeon exit command to leave faster. So this is 300 seconds. It can stay like that. Okay, so next we have a boss YML. First of all, trigger on player near can change it. So let's jump into documentation. Let's search for near. And here we have three options on start. So when we type here on start, the boss will show up on start. You can also type here on player near, like me. So when I have on player near, I must have also this trigger distance typed here. That means that if player is in 20 block distance from boss spawn, the boss will show up. And also have on delay, so if we type here on delay, we must type also delay 60 seconds, that after 60 seconds of dungeon, the boss will be spawned. But okay, I will leave it like this. Lifetime behavior persists, so that means that the boss will not despawn. And here, mythic, you can type here vanilla, and I don't know, set, for example, zombie to be boss. But in my case, it will be mythic mob. So here I must type dungeon mythic, and I must search for Wukong. Okay. So as you can see, mob ID is just Wukong. But remember, in order to mythic mobs work, you must have mythic mobs plugin installed. Okay, but when we set it up everything here, we can save it. And we can go back to our dungeon. Let's type dungeon edit Wukong. And now we will set up loot chests and spawners. So let's go, for example, here. And here will be first mob spawner. So I must type dungeon add spawner and spawner ID. In my case, it will be ID 1. And if everything is fine, there will be some particles here. Okay, next, here I want to be the first loot chest. So dungeon add loot chest, and it will have ID bronze. And now loot chest bronze is created. So I must type dungeon loot chest gif and ID. And now I have a loot chest bronze in my echo. So let's build one here. And let's build two here. Okay, going further. Here I want to add a second mob spawn. So it will be dungeon add spawner 2. Okay, furthermore, here I want to create new loot chest here. So dungeon, add loot chest, silver. And now I must type dungeon loot chest if silver. Here I want to silver loot chest. Okay, and here I want third mob spawner, dungeon, add spawner 3. And near the boss I want to have the best loot chest here. So dungeon, oh, not so dungeon, add loot chest, gold, and dungeon, loot chest, if gold. And I will place 3 gold loot chest here. Okay, so now must type dungeon save. And when we will come back to our plugin folder, we will see 2 new folders, loot chests and spawners. So let's open loot chest folder, and here we have 3 tiers that we created, bronze, silver and gold. So let's open bronze tier. Okay, here we have a default bronze config, but we will edit that. So I want that minimum items per drop, I will set it to 2 items and maximum 3 items. And now let's jump into the documentation once again. And here we have a loot chest system. So let's copy it. Let's copy that. And I will paste it here. Okay, so as you can see, we have 3 items here. But we can add more. So let's copy that. Let's add, I don't know, for example, iron helmet, red, and diamond X. And now we have a 100% chance that we will get 1 to 5 diamonds from bronze loot chest. So okay, but you have items other plugin. You have also add here items other items. So let's go to Minecraft once again. Let's type dungeon, items other, and here you will have all items that you are added to your server. So let's type, for example, bronze coin. And as you can see, we have example .config here. So, but the most important thing is item ID, coins, bronze coin. So I have it here, bronze coin. I will save that config. And for any tiers, you can create as many tiers as you want. You can do different config. And these tiers are only for Wukong dungeon. If you create a new dungeon, because you can have multiple dungeons, you will have to create new tiers. Okay, but now spawners. And we created 3 spawners, and we have 3 YMLs here. But this is 1, 2, 3. Yeah? If you call your spawner spawner start, here it will be spawner start.yml. Okay, let's open it. And here we have a trigger and persist. This is exactly same thing we have with boss. So when we type here trigger, we can change it. Oh, not here. We can change it to whatever you want. You can change it to on delay, on player near, on or on start. So first the spawner will be on start, and it will have 5 zombies, and for example two creepers. Here you have also the mythic mobs. So if you want add mythic, you must type here mythic and mob ID. So just go to the game, type dungeon mythic and choose Knight, and here you have a ID which you must type into the config. But I don't want it. Let's leave here only 2 vanilla mobs. Okay, then let's save it. Next, config second spawner, and here its trigger we will change to on player near. So we must copy those 2 things and paste it here. No, here. Oh. And trigger distance I will set to 8 blocks, for example. Yeah, and in this mob pool, I will change it to 3 indicators. And last spawner, I want to have a trigger mode player near once again. This time it will be 15 blocks. And here I want 4 skeletons. And also, you can also adjust the chance. And if we type here 15, the 15% chance that this 4 skeleton will spawn here. Will spawn on this spawner. Okay, and now let's add 3 more mobs. So let's set 1 zombie and for example 2 breeze. Okay, and let's save that. Let's go back to our server. Okay, and now we theoretically can start the dungeon. But if you have OP, you have by default the bypass permission that you can start the dungeon for free without any payments. This permission you can add to, I don't know, some VIP ranks or whatever you want. But now I will get some armor and some food. I will do up myself. Okay, and now in order to open a party, we must type dungeon open. And as you can see, I don't have boss map and diamond to start the dungeon. But if I will give myself OP, I don't need to have those things. Yeah. And now, as you can see, I have 300 seconds to start the dungeon. So if you want to invite some friends to dungeon, they must type this code. So they must type dungeon, join, and this code. I can do that because I am party owner, so. But if we want to start the dungeon, we must type dungeon start. As you can see, we are teleported to dungeon. We have a time at the top, and in server files we have temporary world. This world will be deleted after we will complete or leave the dungeon. If not, you as administrator can delete it. You can safely delete it. But okay, back to the dungeon. I will go to creative, and here have a first spawn. As you can see, those zombies have spawned. Okay, but let's go our first loot chest. Let's open it. So, first item dropped, and can collect it. And let's go to next loot chest. Here, because minimum are 2 items, and here dropped 2 items. Maximum is 4 items, here dropped 4 items. Okay. Here, some mobs should spawn. Yeah. So, this mob's set to spawn here. Here we have a next loot chest. I will have only diamonds because we did not configure silver gear loot chest. Next, we have a next spawner here. Yeah. So this mob spawned. You can change the distance. You can change trigger distance, so they will spawn not 8 blocks, but I don't know, 20 blocks from the player. Next, we have 3 gold loot chest, and if we will go here, we can see that the Monkey King boss has spawned. Remember that if you want to configure him, adjust damage, HP or something like that, you must do it in Mythic Mobs plugin, not in Instance Dungeon. But okay, let's kill him. I will enchant my sword to do it fast. Okay, and one more thing, because we set it up in config that players cannot destroy any blocks dungeon. Okay, and when we will kill the boss. Okay, we killed the boss, but the plugin doesn't kick me out because I didn't turn this option to true. So now I must type dungeon exit and confirm that I type it again. But if you turn this option to true, the dungeon will be automatically closed 30 seconds after the boss death. So that's it from this plugin. I hope you understand it what I was talking to you, because I know that my English is not the best. And thanks for watching. Bye.